Hello everybody, it's Bill's That College Football Guy here with, yet another preview and prediction video. We're talking about the Utes. The two Utes? Oh, my cousin Vinny reference. The Utes of Utah, the Big 12. Oh my goodness. It wasn't exactly the year that everybody was hoping for last year, but hopefully things can turn around this year. How well they're going to turn around? Well, we're going to see here. So, no, I'm not on the side of the interstate like I did in the video from yesterday. It was just the same day I'm recording it. I'm actually in South Windsor, Connecticut, which is north of Hartford. Yeah, I'm way up here. All right, so shall we get into this? All right, let's talk about the man, the future Hall of Famer, Kyle Whittingham, head coach of Utah, beginning his 21st season, full season as head coach. This is crazy. In his previous 20 seasons, 20 seasons as head coach, his record's 167 and 86. Basically won about 2/3 of his games. Offensive coordinator, we had a change from last season. Jason Beck begins his first season as OC and quarterbacks coach. He was previously the OC and quarterbacks coach at New Mexico, which played a big hand in who their quarterback is. They previously had two offensive coordinators, co-OCs. Andy Ludwig, who was the OC for the first 7 games of the season, and then he got fired, doesn't have a job right now as of the time of this recording. Mike Majakian, who coached the final 5 games of the season, he's now the offensive coordinator at UMass. Utah, with who they had, with Wilson at quarterback and all the other stuff with all the problems they had, injuries. They had a ton of injuries last season. They had a ton. Ranked 115th in total offense last season. New Mexico ranked 4th in total offense last season. Defensively, there is no. It's Morgan Skelly, the coach in waiting, heir apparent, begins his 10th season as defensive coordinator and safeties coach. Utah ranked 29th in total defense last season. So, defense is going to be solid coaching-wise. Offense has got its moves here. What's going to happen here? Now let's get into the players. Who is going to be the starting quarterback? Well, the odds are everybody's, first off, quarterbacks on the roster. The starting job is basically going to be between 1 and 2. I don't know how it's going to shake out. You have Isaac Wilson, who was a true freshman last season, back as a sophomore, 127 out of 225, 1,510 yards, 10 touchdowns, 11 picks. And the transfer from New Mexico, who followed his OC, Devon Dampier, the junior transfer from Mexico, was mobile, 216 out of 390. All right, completion. Not the best. 2,768 yards, 12 touchdowns, 12 picks. So both of your quarterbacks have thrown just as many interceptions as touchdowns. That's concerning. As for the backup job, there's some other ones who are in the job. But realistically, third string is probably going to be between Brendan, his name is Zerberg, the redshirt freshman transfer from Oklahoma, and Bert Franklin, the true freshman. I think he's definitely going to be possibly battling for third string. We'll see how this goes. Running back room, transfers are deciding this because there's one running back who's holdover from last year's squad who actually recorded some stats. That was Omar Shah, the sophomore. He didn't make the minimum, which is 100 yards rushing. He didn't make the minimum for the season. The other 4, all transfers, all FBS transfers, and made the minimum. We'll start worst to first yardage-wise. We got Devin Green, the sophomore transfer from UNLV. He's a true freshman last year, 28 carries, 123 yards, 1 touchdown. We've got Bryce Duke, the senior transfer from Old Dominion, 46 carries, 285 yards, no touchdowns. And we go up from there. We've got Naquari Rogers, the senior transfer from New Mexico, another New Mexico transfer, 74 carries, 382 yards, 5 touchdowns. And then we got Wayshawn Parker, the sophomore transfer from Washington State, freshman last year, 137 carries, 735 yards, and 4 touchdowns. I'm thinking Parker's probably going to be the starting running back, but then again, we're going to see here. I don't know. This is definitely the best room on total, top to bottom, the best room on the offense. Put those over there out the way. I'm going to get this paperwork over here. Wide receiver room, again, another room where transfers will have a, there's the paper falling down. Transfers will have a huge impact on who starts at wide receiver. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 guys who had a legit shot at throwing, I think a legit shot thrown in the rotation here. They also, the ones who recorded some stats from last season. Those who, didn't even make the minimum, which is 10 receptions if you're FBS, 20 for FCS and lower. All the candidates here qualified were all FBS. We got Nate Johnson, the redshirt junior transfer from Vandy. Creed Whitmore, the redshirt sophomore transfer from Mississippi State. Dadrian Ziprin, the redshirt sophomore, holdover from last year's squad, as well as Luke Caldarella, the redshirt senior, also holdover from last year's squad. Now, those who made the stats, we got 4 guys who did something on the receptions list. Tobias Merriweather, actually, all 4 who did this, none of them are holdovers. All transfers. Tobias Merriweather, the junior transfer from Cal, 11 receptions, 125 yards, and a touchdown. We go up from there to Justin Stevenson, the redshirt sophomore transfer from Wyoming, 17 receptions, 204 yards, and 3 touchdowns. From there, we go to Larry Simmons, the junior transfer from Southern Miss, 27 receptions, 421 yards, and 1 touchdown. And number 1 guy, Ryan Davis, the redshirt senior transfer from New Mexico. Notice the flavor here. 54 receptions, 747 yards, 3 touchdowns. So they'll have an edge because they know the system, but we're going to see how that goes. Tight end room. You've got 7 tight ends on the roster. Total. 3 of them, 4 freshmen, I should say. 4 freshmen. So that leaves 3. 2 of them recorded some stats, got less than 10 receptions. We're talking about, and they're both holdovers from last year's squad. Hunter Andrews, the redshirt freshman, Dallin Bentley, the senior. The only one who didn't record any stats, Otto Tia, the redshirt senior transfer from Utah State, 44 receptions, 434 yards, 7 touchdowns. He goes down, and they got to go 2 tight end set. How's that going to work? So that's a little bit concerning. Offensive line transfers again in that room, but overall the room is pretty damn solid. How is everybody going to blend together is going to be a concern, but we'll see about that. Defensive line, there's a lot of guys who are on this roster, but on this roster in the defensive line room. But those who actually, did minimal stats, 10 tackles defensively, 10 tackles at FBS, 20 tackles FCS or lower. FCS or lower, I didn't say this before. FCS, Division II, Division III, and a community college, junior college. 20 tackles or more at that level. Well, on the defensive line, we had a grant, I said 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. Only 2 didn't have to qualify. The 8 that didn't do enough, Lance Holtzclaw, the redshirt junior transfer from Washington. Paul Fitzgerald, everybody else is a holdover from last year's squad who did less than 10 tackles. Paul Fitzgerald, redshirt junior. John Henry Daly, redshirt sophomore. Cash Dillon, redshirt freshman. John Leah, redshirt sophomore. Aliki Vinahi, redshirt senior, I think. All right, the 2 that did something, both are also holdovers from last year's squad. Dallas Bakalahi, the sophomore, is a true freshman last year, 16 tackles, 2 sacks. And Logan Fennell, I hope I'm saying his name right. I'm sorry if I'm not. The redshirt junior, 35 tackles, 2.5 sacks, a forced fumble, and a pass deflection. So, starting to see some flaws here. Linebacker room. We got a total of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 guys in the linebacker room. Only 5 of them recorded any stats to qualify. 3 recorded some stats. 3 did stats to qualify. So that kind of worries me in terms of depth for this room. A lot of guys are on here, some redshirt juniors, but they're all and some guys who are redshirt seniors, whatnot, that maybe either played special teams for a little bit or just have been scout team. And they're not going to be asked to step up, so it's going to see how that goes. But the guys, the 5 and qualified. You have Marani Anai, the redshirt senior, and Kanai Lopez, the redshirt freshman, less than 10 tackles. Everybody else in this team, no transfers. Everybody's a holdover in the linebacker room. And it's a good thing, too, is you got 2 beasts in this linebacker room. You got Trey Reynolds, the redshirt junior, 13 tackles. And the 2 beasts, we're talking about Jonathan Hall, the junior, 38 tackles, 1 sack, 1 pick, 3 pass deflections. And then, I'm saying his name right, Landon Burton, the sophomore, the senior, 72 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 2 picks, 1 a pick 6, and 4 pass deflections. Starters look good. Past that, I'm nervous. Defensive backs, DB room, best room on the defense. In this room, there are, this may be the youngest room. But the thing is, because it's young, but because of the experience at the top, they're running, because the reason I say that, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 guys did stats to qualify. Most of any other room, by far. But there's a total hold on, make sure 13 23 guys in the room. We got a sophomore and a redshirt freshman haven't done anything, so that's the back half. The other one are 10 freshman defensive backs. You got 11 guys who've done something. They're not going to see any playing time. And it's junior and senior heavy. So they're going to be asked to step up next year. So that's something to think about. The DBs here, those who recorded some stats, didn't make at least the 10 tackles, 20 FCS. Looking here to see if anybody here was FCS on here. And no, everybody recorded some stats. FBS level. We're talking Jackson Benet, the sophomore, holdover from last year's squad. Don Saunders, the redshirt junior transfer from Texas A&M. And we have J.C. Hart, the redshirt sophomore transfer from Auburn. They did some stuff. We had, of this crew who qualified to do some stats, we had 2 that did stats, maybe 3 that did stats at the FCS level. So of those who did stats to qualified, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 3 are from FCS. The FCS ones, worst to first, we were talking. Jalen Mosen, the redshirt sophomore transfer from Furman, minimal 20 tackles and a pick. We got Blake Cotton, the senior transfer from UC Davis, 25 tackles and 2 pass deflections. And Rock Caldwell, the redshirt junior transfer from Garden City Community College, 32 tackles, 1 sack, 6 picks, 7 pass deflections. He's a ball hawk. That should be interesting, how that's going to work out. Now, the ones who did some stuff here, again, tackles, worst to first. So, on the FBS level, it's basically up here. So, that makes 5. So, worst to first. We've got Nick Ritchie, Jr., holder from last year's squad, 19 tackles. In fact, everybody who's qualified for the tackles, all are holdovers from last year's squad. Elijah Davis, the redshirt junior, 29 tackles and 2 interceptions. We've got Rabbit Evans, the senior, 34 tackles and a pass deflection. Then we got these 2 beasts. Smith Snowden, the junior, 48 tackles, a forced fumble, 2 picks, 1 a pick 6, 8 pass deflections. And Tao Johnson, the redshirt junior, 70 tackles, a forced fumble, a pick, and 4 pass deflections. So secondary's got some ball hawks and some guys who make some moves. We're going to see how this goes, but I think the secondary is going to be very good for them. So now I've done enough talking about the predictions time to get into the preview. Let's get to the predictions part of the video. All right. Well, unfortunately for this one, because this is down on the list, I've done a lot of Big 12 schools already, so a lot of these are going to be, I already covered it. So if you want to hear my synopsis on those games, go back and find this corresponding video, and you can look up on the prediction part of that one. So they start out the season on the road at UCLA to start the season. I covered this game when I did the UCLA preview and prediction video. You're going to go on the road to UCLA, and Utah is going to win the game. Then they're at home against Cal Poly. Cal Poly plays at San Diego the week before. This is the first ever meeting between Cal Poly and Utah is going to get a win, going 2-0. Then they go back out on the road to Laramie at Wyoming. I covered this game in the Wyoming preview and prediction video. You're going to go on the road to Laramie and beat Wyoming. You're back home to play Texas Tech. Texas Tech plays Oregon State at home the week before, so that's going to be a tough game. And then they go on the road. Last meeting was in 1973. It's been a minute. Texas Tech won 29-22 on the road in Lubbock. Texas Tech is looking to go 3-0 all time versus Utah. I look at the roster, and I trust Texas Tech roster more than I trust Utah's. Utah gets their first loss of the season at home to Texas Tech. Then on the road, going from Salt Lake City all the way across the country to Morgantown. Or I should say, Utah all the way across the country to Morgantown. To on the road to West Virginia. I covered this game in the West Virginia preview and prediction video. The travel, the rosters, you're losing on the road to West Virginia. Then you get a bye to, get yourself back together again. Home against Arizona State. Arizona State, problem with this is, we got a bye, we got a win advantage. No, both schools have a bye prior to this, so nobody has the advantage. Last meeting was last year. Arizona won 23-19 on the road in Tempe. You got them at home this year. But I trust that roster more than I trust yours. I'm sorry, Utah fans. You're going to lose at home to Arizona State. And then the Holy War. On the road at BYU. I covered this game in the BYU prediction video. You go on the road and you beat BYU in the Holy War. Get that win. Then go on the road. Come back at home, you play Colorado. I covered this game in the Colorado preview and prediction video. Told you there was a bunch of them. Unfortunately, you're losing at home to Colorado. Then you go stay at home and you face Cincinnati. Cincinnati plays Baylor at home the week before, and that was actually Cincinnati's homecoming game. This is kind of interesting. This is the first ever meeting between Cincinnati and Utah. Rather interesting, isn't it? Like, I figured they would have met once, and then again, G5, nothing? Okay. Well, this game is roster-wise, it's kind of close. So I look at this game almost like a coin flip. Cincinnati's a lot better than people give them credit for. Who's at home? You are. You get the win against Cincinnati. Then you get the bye. Out of the bye, you're on the road south to Waco, Texas to play Baylor. I covered this game in the Baylor preview and prediction video. You're losing to Baylor. Then you come at home to play Kansas State. Kansas State plays at Oklahoma State the week before. This one really surprised me. This is the first time that Kansas State and Utah have ever played. They've never played before. It's like, what? Never played before. Kansas State and Utah have never played before. You're at home against K-State. But they got more talent than you do. You're losing at home to K-State. And finally, last game of the year. Actually, hold on. Let me double check one thing here. Going into the final game of the year. You're 5-6. You need to win this game to be bowl eligible. Friday Night Lights on the road in Lawrence at Kansas. Kansas plays at Iowa State the week before. You played at Kansas. So this is different halves of Farmageddon. Last meeting was in 1996. 30 damn years ago. Almost. Utah won 45-42 in Salt Lake City. You're on the road in Lawrence. It's going to be a tough environment. but you're going to figure out how to win it. You're going to beat Kansas on the road to finish the season 6-6, bowl eligible, a game better than last year. 3-6 in conference. Because my biggest problem is everybody's expecting Dampier and everybody to move up. I read you the wide receivers. They're a little better than New Mexico's, but not much. You have quarterbacks who throw just as many interceptions as touchdowns against better defenses. Some people have said Utah's battling for the Big 12 championship. I don't see it. Big 12, they battled to get to a bowl game. That's going to piss a lot of Utah fans off. But they're battling to get to a bowl game. They get there. They're going bowling. They're going to go bowling. But I've made my thoughts known. Why don't you let me know what you think about all this down in the comments. So thanks everybody for watching the video. If you haven't done it already, do me the favor. We all know the routine. Smash the like button. Hit the thumbs up. Comment on the video. I'm going to run through the schedule again one more time. Listen to the games. You tell me what you think their record is going to be down in the comments. Start off the season on the road at UCLA, home against Cal Poly, on the road at Wyoming, home against Texas Tech, on the road cross country at West Virginia, bye week, out of the bye at home against Arizona State, on the road Holy War at BYU, home against Colorado, home against Cincinnati, second bye week, on the road out of the bye, on the road at Baylor, home against Kansas State, and on the road Friday night against Kansas. Let me know in the comments what you think their record's going to be. Share the video if you want to, and if you haven't done it already, check out some of the other videos that I've done. There's enough of them. And if you like them, hey, subscribe to the channel. On the road to 2K, trying to make some magic happen. If you want to follow me on X, the link will be in the description. So again, thanks everybody for watching. More preview and prediction videos coming. Oh boy. The fun never ends. Oh boy. But hey, at least we're not that far from football, are we? Not that far at all. So thanks everybody for watching. We're having a great day. Be safe and please be good to each other.